All right. Uh, Welcome everyone to another edition of House of Strikes. Filling in for Frankie 3S. This is Mutant XP alongside my co-host Nika KO. How you doing tonight, Nika?
I'm doing good. I busted your ass earlier on next level.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know. Last time I remember, I think I won that last match we played.
Maybe. That wasn't
Maybe.
wasn't, wasn't that serious to me.
Yeah.
Excuses, right?
No excuse is safe on block. We'll, we'll get to
So
that
anyway,
later.
so anyways, welcome guys to the episode 11 of House of Strikes. Obviously, we have our special guest coming later this evening. But for now, we're gonna be talking about Fight Club 6 and Third Strike at EVO 2016, and of course the rKf interview alongside the Oki of the week, and then have our parting shots. So as I said before, when I posted this. If you guys have any questions, be sure to email us at houseofstrikes@gmail.com, or you could post it on Facebook and we'll take a look at it. So, any questions you want to ask RKF, please be sure to do that then. So,
All right. So let's go ahead and get this show started. So,
mhm.
our first question for today, or our first topic of the day, is Fight Club 6. And so, as all of you should know, Fight Club 6, whoa, sorry. Uh, Fight Club 6 is set to go down on February 20th. That's a Saturday. Remember that this could very well be the last Fight Club at next level. And so, just to
Unfortunately.
unfortunately. And so we have a lot of awesome events lined up for Fight Club 6. And so obviously we're going to have the New Blood Battle Royal with pot bonus to be determined. And so hopefully a lot of people come out and take advantage of that. Also, we're going to have a special 3v3 same character tournament, and we'll get to that. We'll get back to that in a little bit. And then obviously rounding out the night is going to be the fight card. And we already went over the matches for the fight card on the last House of Strikes. And so tonight I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about the 3v3 same character tournament. And so obviously this is an idea that's inspired from Pre-Cooperation Cup.
Hmm.
In recent years, the Pre-Cooperation Cup has become almost as exciting as the real Cooperation Cup. And so we thought, let's go ahead and try it in America. And so we're going to see a lot of interesting teams at Fight Club 6, Lloyd. There are
Right.
some New Yorkers that like to play multiple characters, and so we're going to see some different pairings. We're going to see players who don't normally team up. And so, I think it'd be a really awesome way for players to communicate and get to know one another. Also, new bloods obviously are more than welcome to enter the 3v3 same character tournament. I'm going to be more than willing to accept any new bloods who want to team with me. That's just me. And
Yeah, me
so
too.
and so hopefully people come out.
Right.
And so that brings us to our first topic, which is who do you think should team up for Fight Club 6? And so Lloyd, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Who do you think should team up for Fight Club 6?
Well, we have four choices, I think, and my first choice is obviously Team Alex, which has the biggest prospect of being the first place team, just because of how balanced it is and how strong the players are. Hold that, obviously, he's been getting a lot better. And Diaper Bomb, he's already established, and Hispanic Jep is basically the wild card. But that team is strong enough to take it very far in the tournament, so I'm excited to see that one. Then there's Team Dudley with Blood Cell, Duke, aka Heartbread, and Opio. Uh, Two out of the three are kind of new bloods, with Duke being the veteran, so that's gonna be nice. And of course, Team Ken with D-Tech, Jerry Rice, and Green Tea, another pretty solid team. And then the last one, Team Necro, with Little Kevin, CF CF player from back in the
CF
days,
Legend.
a CF legend, yes. And then Black, who is a pad legend with Necro, and then Anti Shoto, who's just overall legend in
Best
America. So
best Necro in New York.
okay, anyways, but yeah, I mean, all these teams are pretty much pretty solid teams and pretty solid picks. I mean, I'm very excited to see this kind of variety in
Mhm.
in the team tournament. So I think that's one of the main reasons why we're committing to this type of format.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean those are my picks. I mean,
So let's
what are
talk a little
yours?
bit about your picks, Lloyd. So first of all, I want to begin this by saying that I have a lot of respect for Hispanic Jap, and so we love you, Kyo. But I don't think your Alex is gonna get very far. I'm sorry. I think you should stick with Dudley or Urian, and so hopefully you'll choose Urian and be on the Urian team. Um, Team Necro. So obviously I'm pretty partial to Team Necro, and so I'm
Bias.
gonna do my best to coach Team Necro all the way to grand finals. I true story. When little Kevin actually went up to TGA one time. I think Gavin might remember the story, but he actually went to TGA one time for SBO quals, and then they all thought for like the first hour that little Kevin was me. And then when they realized that it wasn't me, they started calling him Mini Mutant. But
That's hilarious.
I think Team Necro, because here's the thing. Okay, Team Necro, because let's look at your list of teams again, Lloyd. aside from aside from Team Dudley, if you notice, Team Necro is the only team on your list where all of the players main Necro. Like I don't think I've ever seen any of them play any other characters. I think I've seen Anti Shoto mess with Alex before, but his Alex is garbage, so that's irrelevant. But Little Kevin, Black, and Anti Shoto, they are ride or die Necro all the
Necro
way Necro
players.
players,
That's
and they
true.
all have a really really different style. Little Kevin is really patient. Anti Shoto is really offensive. Black is kind of in between. Black loves to play footsies.
Yeah.
So I think Team Necro might go a long way. And for anyone who wants to side bet me during the team tournament, I am gonna bet every match that they play in the team tournament.
Official?
Yeah, this is how
Wow.
confident I am in Team Necro. I'm gonna get so
Wowzers.
hyped for this team. I might even root against I might even root for Team Necro against my own team. Okay. So
That's
in
some
all
serious
likelihood, I'm going to
confidence.
be in Team Urian. I might even root against myself. This is how excited I am about Team Necro. Team Can, I think it's pretty much the second strongest team on your list.
Mm.
But aside from that, I think these are pretty strong picks. Do you want to say anything about your picks, Lloyd?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I mean, I just like the character variety, or
Mhm.
more so the player variety than the character variety, because a lot of these players you wouldn't really see like like Blood Cell and Duke like team together.
Mhm.
You wouldn't see something like Hispanic Jap, Hold That, and Diaper Bomb team. Like these are teams that you don't really see too often.
Mhm.
So I mean, me personally, I like the type of variety that it brings in that sense. So yeah, I mean, those are my picks. So I'm very excited for all four of them. Aside from my own team, but I'm a free agent at this point if my teammate doesn't show. So we'll see what happens.
But that's what's so exciting about this team tournament, right? Like you have people who
Yeah,
don't normally team together.
yeah,
So
exactly. I mean,
yeah. So here's my list of teammates or teams that I would love to see at Fight Club 6. And so starting off, Team Chun. I know Gavin and Ahmed have had their back and forth recently, and
mm,
but I think that if they were to team up together, I think it would be a pretty potent force. And then I think that they should take Troy on their team. Troy, of course, is from Florida, and he had a very, very, very strong showing at NEC. The first thing he did was mix everybody up and get himself into the New Blood Battle Royal. So good shit on that, Troy. Thanks for sneaking into the New Blood Battle Royal. My apologies for allowing a person who actually won a major to get on the New Blood Battle Royal. Um, but he used Ryu, right, in the New Blood Battle Royal?
yeah, he did, but it was kind of he was the last person to play too. So who knows?
Hmm.
He probably could have lost earlier if he did, but
And he
never
was
know.
very close to beating Sanchez. to get to top 8. And so I think Gavin and Ahmed should take Troy under their wings and let him join Team Chun. So
knows?
my other wish list, my other team, my second team on my wish list is Team Ryu or Team Ryu, Denges, Flair, and Hellgen. I know that there's almost little to no chance that Flair is going to show up to Fight Club 6, but one can dream.
Yes,
If this team actually it came to fruition at Fight Club 6,
I would quit.
I wouldn't even play. Yeah, I wouldn't even. I was like,
I wouldn't enter. Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't enter the tournament. You and I would just commentate because I don't want
Yeah.
to be embarrassed by this team, because this is like the Mount Rushmore of American Ryu.
Yes, exactly. I mean, as much
The
shit as
only
we give
reason I
Denji.
put Flair is because I know that Flash is going to Magfest. Shoutouts Flash. But I
Shout outs
know
to
he's
Flash.
going to Magfest, and so if Flash wasn't going to Magfest, then I would have put him in there instead of Flair. But there's still
Yeah.
a glimmer of hope that Flair might show up, and hopefully he does. Then we have Team Urian, and so I think Team Urian should be Donish, Adam, and Hispanic Jap.
Mm.
Uh, Donish turned a lot of heads by upsetting some really good players, including Tinchi at the last NEC. Adam has a really good pocket Urian. Of course, Adam, I'm referring to Ahmed's brother. He has a really good Urian. The only person in America that I've seen so far that can do Crouching Fierce Fireball Aegis every time. 100%. 110%. Okay? And he's one of 2 American players that I've ever seen in training mode do triple tackle 3 times in a row in training mode. And we nicknamed it the Spumoni. That's when we
Oh my God.
Spumoni's is this famous pizza place in Brooklyn, and we renamed that combo the Spumoni.
Oh my Jesus.
I saw your tweet earlier, Lloyd, this week, where you're saying that triple tackle was the hardest combo you've ever tried.
It is. Like
Yeah.
I literally try to do it like I only got it like twice in 2 hours, and
Yeah.
that's just I don't know. I mean, I just couldn't do it. Like it was just that hard.
Yeah.
So
And excuse me. Last but not least, Team Remy. I'd like to see the Rage, Everdread, and Frankie 3S stay away from my character and use Remy. Okay. I would love for Frankie to go back to his roots and return to his original main. And so I really think Team Remy. The thing about the Team Remy, Lloyd, I think, like in a team tournament, and I think I'm gonna ask. I have to remember to ask rKf this, but I wonder if he's ever faced at Prio Co-op Cup. I wonder if he's ever faced the Remy team.
mm, that's a good question.
Imagine having to
We'll
play
keep it.
5 Remys. What the f?
Oh my God, that must be
Jesus.
the freaking
5 Remys? God.
that sounds terrible. It's like going through
I can't.
torture.
I can't even think of facing 3 Remys. You can face 5 Remys? What's worse than
Hey,
facing 5 Remys? 5
five
Qs?
twelves,
5 12s? 5 Qs?
512s. Me
5
personally,
Elenas?
oh my God, for
I
RKF it
think
might
the
be five
worst.
Elenas.
5 Elenas? 5
Yeah,
Elenas?
for him it might be five Elenas. Yeah.
5 Elenas? So once again, those are our. What do you think about my picks, Lloyd?
I mean, I like him. I mean, personally, I like the Remy one because it'll force Frankie away from Necro, but
Yes.
also it'll bring out Everidred too, and he's been doing pretty good at fight clubs. I mean, he just hasn't had much of a chance to play as much.
He made
And,
top 8 at Summer Jam.
Exactly. I mean, not many people have seen him like that, and of course, seeing Rage play Remy is always a treat. So it's definitely a little bit better than watching his Ken, that's for sure. But one of the bigger ones, aside from that, is the Ryu team.
Hmm.
But I was actually thinking, in Ahmed they don't play Chun,
Hmm.
and Troy doesn't have a team. He can also pick Ryu. He can pick Denjin Ryu, and be on
Yeah.
that team with Denjis and Helgen. And
But
that's a pretty solid team too.
yeah, I would rather though see Ahmed, Gavin, and Troy team up though.
Hmm.
I would
Yeah.
rather see those 3 team up. And,
But for me, it's hard to see Gavin and Ahmed team up in general, because those two guys they
but
just
that's what makes this team tournament so sick. I want
Yep.
to see Ahmed and Gavin team up and cheer one another. It's gonna be so hilarious.
Right. Like deep down, like Ahmed will be like, God, this fucking guy sucks. But then,
It'll be like Batman and Joker teaming up or something, you know?
yeah, seriously. But yeah, so for all of you guys who just joined us, we were talking about the Fight Club 6 teams and the prospect teams actually. And basically this is what might happen at Fight Club. So for those of you who are
Yeah.
for those of you who want more information about it, please be sure to check out the Facebook event page, Thirst Fight Club. And yeah, I mean, come out to it, guys. February 20th at Next Level. Might be the last one, so be sure to get your licks in then.
Just to clarify, remember that the team tournament at Fight Club 6 is going to be a same character team tournament. That means every member on the team has to use the same character. Although, we may make some exceptions, like they do at Co-op Cup, have a few mixed teams in there,
Yeah.
if people want. Um, so, here's another question, Lloyd, impromptu question. Do you think, okay, let's say Gavin, Ahmed, and Troy teamed up. Do you think they'll win?
Gavin, Ahmed, and Troy. Well, I'm
What
not
are the
gonna root
odds?
against. I'm not gonna root against my own team, so I'm gonna say no. I don't think they'll win, but
hmm
I'll definitely give them a strong chance of winning, like 70%.
Okay, so
So
I'll put you on the spot then. Grand finals. What's the teams? Team X versus Team Y. Who's going to be in grand finals at Fight Club 6? What do you think?
damn, way to put me on the spot.
hmm
If I think the Ryu team
Wow.
and
If Flair
and
shows up.
yeah, maybe, or if they find another solid Ryu, maybe Old Man Ryu might come out.
Oh my God! If Old Man, that's
You
another
never
thing,
know.
guys. I really hope that all the old school CF players. I don't know if you guys are watching this or anything, old school CF players, but please come out. Old Man Ryu, that Ibuki player, Kevin,
Chino.
Eric's, Chino. I know. Tony's coming out.
Isn't
Everyone
he a
come out.
great player?
Hmm?
Oh wait, no, that Ken player, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I hope all these guys come out. It might be the last Fight Club at Next Level. So, let's all get together that day, and let's celebrate the New York Thirst Strike scene. It's been so strong since I moved here, and I think it'd be a great way to close out Next Level if it indeed that is what happens. Um. So.
I think the Ryu team versus the Necro team.
Hmm.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
hmm. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the Alex team versus the Necro team.
Ooh, that would be pretty sick.
That would be
That
so
would be
sick, right?
that would be pretty sick, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll
Yeah,
be
I
a
think.
pain in the ass for the Alex team, though. I
Well,
mean, one minute you have to play like against anti-shooter who's in your mouth, who's like in your face, and then the next minute it's like you have to play against like somebody super solid like Little Kevin. It's like that type of fucking matchup will give you like whiplash or something.
I don't know. Like, I don't think a lot of Alex players, at least American Alex players, they come up to me and they say that the Necro matchup is hard, but I don't think so.
It seems hard. I mean, obviously the
No.
long range is like you know, it's pretty difficult to deal with, especially if the player has to jump in. But the good thing about these Alex players is that they know how to get in.
Yes, yes.
So like they excel at doing that. So that's one of the bigger things when it comes to that Alex team.
hmm So you think it's going to be Chun versus Ryu,
Nope.
or
Necro
Chun
versus
versus
Ryu.
Necro versus Ryu, and I think it's going to be Necro versus Alex.
We're putting all our chips in that Necro team.
Dude, a lot of people have been picking up Necro in America.
That is true. That
You know,
is true.
where the hell were all these people when I started playing the game? Literally, there were like 4 players in America that picked Necro, including me, when I first started the game, and now Necro is all popular now. But whatever, you know. So why don't you just use Yang, Lloyd?
There's not many. There's not too many.
Cosby.
That's only one.
You could team with
I mean,
Cosby
there's-
and Adam.
Nah.
No, no.
I think it's going back to a story with what rKf said.
hmm
I would only want a team with probably me, Rom, and I guess two other me's or one other me. I mean, because I can't think of any other Yang players at this moment
Mm.
who are. I mean, I would say Keofin, but he's kind of been declining in terms of playing. So it's that's not something I want to choose. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean I'm not gonna pick Yang. So sorry guys.
So, I guess we'll go ahead and move on from this topic, and let's go to our another topic. And that topic is a recent announcement that that Joe Flores, aka CPS4 of Capsule Entertainment, made on 3S Junkies. And so apparently, Capsule Entertainment now is in early planning stages of bringing a Third Strike tournament at Evo 2K16. For those of you who aren't familiar with Capsule Entertainment, they're the ones that run the Breezy Excursion up in NorCal with players such as Ricky Ortiz, Bisu, and Neiman.
Demon.
And they also ran a Third Strike tournament back in 2014. It was run on 3SO. I believe it was run on LCDs.
Yeah.
And so I'm not exactly sure how many people they got
It
for
was a
that
pretty,
tournament.
it was a pretty big bracket. I mean, from what I
Yeah,
saw, because they do have the brackets online,
yeah.
but
And they have
you know,
the entire tournament on YouTube.
yeah, exactly. I
You
mean,
know,
the, the
uh,
only the only problem is that there were some Japanese players like Nuki who entered,
mhm.
but they just didn't show up,
Okay.
fortunately. So
So we saw KSK on the stream. We saw Ryan, Let Blood Run. We saw Lance from Alaska. And we saw Yun player Saru, I think. He's the one who actually took the tournament.
yeah.
Duralath was there. He was also commentating. And so, and when Capsule Entertainment made the announcement, there was some question as to what the setup at Evo 2016 should be. Capsule Entertainment is planning to use the same setup they did in 2014, which I believe are Xbox 360s with LCD monitors. And then everyone obviously chimed in and talked about, oh, let's run it on Super Gun, let's run it on Cab, let's run it on
Yeah,
CRTs, and then
of course.
and Joe was Joe Joe was basically like, it's Evo 2016, it's going to be very difficult to procure those things, but hopefully, players, despite the fact that it's not going to be run on the most optimal settings that they'd like, hopefully, if they're at Evo, they participate in the Third Strike tournament. So our next question is, Lloyd, what do you think would be the best setup for 3S at Evo 2016? And I'm not talking about like the perfect
Like
setup,
the op
because the perfect setup
Yeah,
is obviously cabs, right? But
yeah, of
in
course.
terms of
But
just
realistically, you mean, right?
realistically, what do you think they could pull off in terms of you know and remember, it's still in the early planning stages. I mean, we don't even know exactly where they're going to hold the tournament. They don't know the venue and everything. But but
Well,
just shout
actually, they
outs.
do. They actually do know where they're
Well,
gonna hold it.
in terms of like what room they're going to set up and stuff like that.
All right.
But
Yeah.
before we get into any, shout outs to Capsule Entertainment for running Third Strike at Evo 2016, and shout outs to them for the Breezy Excursion. They're always on their game in terms of streaming Third Strike from NorCal. I don't think they've had a tournament since December, though. I have to double check that.
Yeah.
But shout outs to them.
Well,
So what do you think? What do you think the setup should be at 2016 Evo?
well, I mean, realistically, I mean, uh, the best from what I've seen last year, I do believe they had super guns there.
Hmm.
I
Well,
think
Lance
they
brought the
had,
super guns.
yeah, and I'm not sure if they had two super guns or one super gun, but even
Hmm.
then, I mean, you know, having two super guns already is like good enough. Because I mean, speaking realistically, I mean, how many of like serious Third Strike players will go to Evo specifically for Third Strike? So I mean, I can understand why they'll be okay with running it on Xbox and I guess CRT or monitors or whatever. But realistically, like if you want a little more higher caliber players to join, then definitely the least you would need is probably a super gun,
Mhm.
and a good supplement to the cabinet would be to get a splitter, so that you can split between two CRTs and have it you know head-to-head setup. So something like that could probably work.
But we
But
tried that at Defend the North,
yeah,
and
but
that was a lot of
I
work.
I mean not necessarily.
Like
Only
it looks
reason
like we were building a flux capacitor on that table. Like we're just
the only reason why is because obviously the TVs that we had, they were like a lot they were like Mickey Mouse TVs literally. But if they were actual CRTs, like you guys can take a look back at Castle Golf Castle Golf 10
Mhm.
from Long Island, and you could check out those tournaments and you could see like some real life footage, and you'll see the head to head setup, and it looks pretty damn good. Like the setup is pretty good. So in terms of bringing that to a super gun with the actual arcade board, I mean that's a pretty optimal setup and in a realistic setting
Mhm.
for Evo 2016. So I mean they do have time to plan it, and I hope they do it. But it's kind of hard to get that equipment in general. I mean CPS3 boards are so
Yeah.
hard to come by.
Well. Anyway, even if you had it, bringing it to Vegas,
Exactly. I
setting
mean
it up.
it's so risky. I mean, first off, by bringing it to Vegas, and second, I mean, setting it up and then not
Mhm.
having to worry about your stuff getting stolen at night. I mean, it's just it's a little too much.
Mhm.
But realistically, if it was organized by like like say the Cannon Brothers or something, then that would be a good supplement because I think they did play on Supergun. Didn't they play on Supergun and Evo 2004 or something?
Yeah, they did, but Third Strike's a side game. It's not a main game, so the cannons and and Wizard aren't gonna lift a finger
No, yeah,
to
yeah.
try and
But
accommodate the
I
Third
mean, like
Strike players.
if it was like realistically, like in terms
Mhm.
of them making it an event or something like that, like that's probably something that they can take a risk with. They could
Mhm.
bring that equipment there. But
Mhm.
in terms of having it as a side event and having the guys from Capsule Entertainment bring it, it's kind of risky, especially
Mhm.
with people stealing stuff these days. So it's
Mhm.
you know at least they're trying. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta appreciate that. So
Well, I think I think one realistic option. Now, remember where we got? Do you remember, Lloyd, where we got those CRTs at Defend the North? Who did we get those CRTs from? What community?
the Smash community,
The Melee community. And
yeah,
at Evo, Melee will be there.
yeah.
So I think, obviously, it's Joe and Capsule Entertainment running the show. But if they asked me for my advice, I think a really good compromise, and I think someone mentioned it on 3S Junkies, would be Xbox 360s on CRTs.
Yeah, yeah. That
And in terms of where they're going to get the CRTs, I really think that the Third Strike, the people who are, the Capsule Entertainment, may want to, ask the Melee guys, because they're always going to have CRTs. They're going to have, Melee's going to have CRTs there.
it's a
And,
priority to have
how many
CRTs.
how many CRTs are the Third Strike is the Third Strike tournament going to need? Maybe a couple, How many, so I think maybe reaching out to the Melee community, asking them, hey, you got some CRTs you can spare. Um, I think that would be a really good compromise. CRTs with Xbox 360. Um, I know there's going to be some issues with streaming and everything. I mean, you may not be able to get the HD stream going if you don't stream from a LCD monitor or whatever. I mean, there's all those technical things. But in terms of like player experience, I think a really good compromise would be Xbox 360 with CRTs.
Yeah, I mean, even then, even if they don't really need the HD, recording software. I mean, setting that up in general is hard enough.
hmm
But if you were to have just a simple CRT setup and with the Xbox, I mean, that's fine. You
hmm
know,
But I'm really
that's
glad that yeah. But I'm really
I mean
glad that
that
Capsule
yeah,
announced it now. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mean, that shows that they're very prepared for it. So I mean,
hmm
I'm happy that they're doing it. They're taking the shot. So
but I definitely think Melee's gonna be there. And I don't know where
yeah.
they get their CRTs. Maybe they even get them from the cannons. Who knows? And so if the melee community gets their CRTs from the cannons, then why can't
Why
they
can't the
spare a
Third Strike
few?
community?
Why can't they spare a few
Yeah,
CRTs for Third
the Third
Strike at
Strike.
Evo? And I think we had this question in an earlier episode, Lloyd. But remember CVS2 had like 80 plus entrants. I don't think there's any reason why 3S can't have the same type of presence.
Yeah.
I mean, we would love to go to Evo ourselves. I'll look into it. It's just very difficult. But hopefully, people on the West Coast do make it out. And
Yeah.
sometimes just having a stream, people get really hyped with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Mhm.
it gives more value to the tournament when you have a stream setup. So,
Mhm.
I mean,
And
but I mean, I think it's just the difference between CVS2 and Third Strike is just the hardware. For
mhm.
us, it has to be cabinet, whereas with them, it could be on PS2, it could be on Dreamcast or something.
Oh no,
So
no, it
well,
can't be
not
on
not
Dreamcast.
not not
Not
Dreamcast, my bad. Uh,
Dreamcast.
it could be PS2 or it could be on arcade too, but that's not gonna happen.
It's like
But PS2s in general is like fine. So
yeah, on Dreamcast it's two and a half strike. It's not
yeah,
it's not the full third strike. It's like two and a half
no
strike.
no no no. I was talking about CBS2 for Dreamcast.
Okay. I thought third strike with
No
Dreamcast. No, that's
no no no
garbage.
no no way. No,
No,
that's actually something I was talking to rKf about, but
hmm
we can actually bring that up in the interview. So,
yeah. And I also
but
think Capsule should look into trying to see obviously it's still early on, but trying to see what notable third strike players are going to be at Evo.
exactly, yeah.
Because I'm
Like
sure
there's
I'm sure some of them are willing to make the trip out for five. You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
and
I
third
mean,
strike's always that first love.
yeah, it always is, yeah.
Five is your new girlfriend, but if your first love you see walking around and she asks you to have
You,
a cup of coffee with her, you'll go.
like, damn. But then you see your old girlfriend, you're like, oh fuck, there she is. So
Yeah. But once again, shout outs to Capsule Entertainment, shout out to CPS4, shout outs to Joe and everyone over there in NorCal, working to bring Third Strike back over in the NorCal scene. And all the best of luck to you. And if you guys need any help or any advice, or if you guys watching out there have any advice for Capsule Entertainment or are willing to help out, if you know you're going to go to Evo and you're a Third Strike fan, definitely enter the tournament. Look to support the scene and see where we can go from there. So, when we come back, the moment that everyone is waiting for, we're going to take a short 2-minute break. And then when we come back, we're going to have none other than one of the Urian Masters of Japan, rKf, and he's going to join us live on the stream. And so stick and stay, guys. We're going to be back in a couple minutes.
stay tuned. So, welcome everybody back to House of Strikes episode 11. I am Nika KO alongside Mutant XP. And for today's special guest, we have none other than the prime scrub from Japan, uh, rKf.
Hi, everybody.
So, welcome rKf to the House of Strikes.
Hello. Thanks
Welcome, RKF.
for having me.
So, again, before we start, if anybody has any questions for rKf, please let us know, and we'll get to them later on.
Uh-huh.
But for now, rKf, obviously you're coming off an entrance from a cooperation cup.
Ah,
So obviously you've had plenty of experience in the Third Strike world.
not
You
really.
played, you, yeah, sure. Let's. But I mean, obviously, you know, you've had a lot of experience in that regard, playing high level players. But I think in order to let the people have a better understanding of, you know, what it takes to get to that,
Mm.
from your perspective, how exactly did you start to get into Third Strike?
Okay. Before I start explaining about myself, let me just, since you mentioned the name Co-op Cup, let me just give some excuses and apologies of what Carson said in the previous show about Co-op Cup. Like, I made him run, and they were all sweating. He said, I think I remember him saying that he ran like dogs, and everything that he said is basically true.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, and I just want to like apologize. And let me just explain why that just happened. Very simply, it's because you Google the name of the venue, Tokyo Leisureland, and then nobody knew that there were two Tokyo Leisureland in that exact area. And then I didn't like zoom in, or like I didn't like make the maps bigger enough to see that it was in a different building. And I just like kind of like looked at Google Map and just put in Tokyo Leisureland and said, okay, you're here, it's here, see you there. So I misled them. I'm sorry. And I made them run like dogs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Carson. Sorry, Lance. Sorry, Gavin.
Well, it probably got him. It probably got him. It was probably a good idea to work up a sweat before playing. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean.
So yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So that's it. Apologies. I'm sorry. And then.
So before you get into your backstory, RKF,
Uh-huh.
for those stream monsters who aren't too familiar with Third Strike, just to let you guys know, RKF is a very notable Japanese Third Strike player. He has been playing for a very long time, and he's
Not really.
most noted for being one of the pioneers of Third Strike combo videos. He has a YouTube channel where he and RX posted some of the really awesome Urian combos and setups. We'll give you guys the link to his YouTube channel in a little bit. And so, as Lloyd says, rKf is just coming off a participation in Co-op Cup. I believe in pre-Co-op Cup you teamed with RX.
Yes,
Is that correct, rKf?
Yes,
and then for the regular Co-op Cup you teamed with a bunch of American scrubs. And you carried them all, right?
kind of.
So yeah, rKf, as Lloyd says, you know, can you tell us a little bit about how you got into Third Strike and why you started playing and when and stuff like that?
Okay. Well, I started playing around I think 2000. I think all of you know that this game was released in 1999. So I wasn't like waiting at the arcade for it to come out or anything. I was just going to the local arcades. There were arcades alive back in the days, because what I heard like is the most recent news is that like more than like 250 arcades like closed down like last year.
Yeah.
But those were still active and alive back in those days. And one of the big name players that probably you guys might be familiar with is Fujiwara, the Dudley player. And he used to come to the same arcade, and he was looking kind of scary. Well, and his play.
Sorry, rKf. Well, what arcade was that? Name of the arcade? Do you know? It's okay if you don't know.
It closed down. So.
Okay. It's no longer with us.
Yeah. Well, the owner actually just like fled off. He just kind of like closed the shutter. He never came back because I heard that he wasn't like making a lot of money. So he just kind of like was gone. He just disappeared. So it kind of like stayed closed, and I don't know what they did with it. It's now something totally different now. And so yeah, I met Fujiwara. I didn't. It was kind of like too scared to talk with him because the way he looks. I'm sorry. It was kind of scary, and of course his play. Of course his play. It's scary as hell, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And he kills you like in 6 seconds. I like died in 6 seconds, and that's Fujiwara is kind of like my first kind of like teacher or mentor or whatever you call it. He kind of like taught me like basic stuff. I was using Ryu at that time actually. I was using SA1 Ryu, and I was getting bodied so much by Dudley, and that's how it kind of like started off. And a lot of a lot of players from other games, like probably the most famous one would be Ogawa for Guilty Gear.
Mhm.
He kind of like showed up in the same arcade as well, and some other names. And I started playing then, and I didn't like travel a lot, but I went to some of the arcades close by and played until like around 2005, I think. And at the end, around 2005, I was playing Urian, but I don't know. I was kind of like, making decisions whether I should use Ryu or Urian. I don't know, but kind of like using Urian. And then 2005, I got kind of like tired of the scene and everything. Everybody has that kind of kind of time, right? And then I wasn't playing for like 6 years. Wasn't going to arcades, but I was making combo vids. So you see me release combo vids like around 2008, like 10, and I. And at 2011, I met a friend of mine, and then he said he was kind of like a KOF player. He was making combo vids as well, but he kind of like touched Third Strike for a little bit, but he had no one to play with, so he was sticking with KOF, and I met him, and then he told me that he actually seen my vids, which was combos vids like number 2 and 3. I think it's 2008 or something, and then we had a lot of things in common. We were in the same age, and yeah, so we started playing, and I started kind of like teaching him. And then at that time, like SBO was still, I think, alive, the last one. So me and him and this other guy, since we trained a little bit, we decided to enter some kind of tournament, which was SBO prelims, and I think it was the last one. And then I went to this arcade, which also closed down in 2012, I think. And then first round, Vanal's team, he OC beat us. Done.
Was that the first time you met Vinal, or you knew him
No,
beforehand?
I knew him for a long time, man. First
Because I was gonna say, because I know you live in the Saitama area.
yeah, Vanal
Right.
was such as well. And I used to go to Vanal's like home arcade like once in a couple of months. That's how much I played, like around from 2005 to 2011. I didn't play as much. And then yeah, we knew each other. And when Vanal was even scrubbier than he is now, well, okay, he's good. I respect him. And when he was kind of like a real scrub, I used to like beat him in real mirror matches back in the days. Now I can't. Now he'll body me. So yeah, I know him for a long time. And then we met him first round, and he OC beat us. And that's when I kind of like start to feel like maybe I can play a little bit more, and maybe I might like enjoy myself a little bit. So that's when I started to play in tournaments again. And then yeah, I felt I was getting better the more I played, because I had like a blank for like 6 years, and while others were playing, like RX was like active at prime at that time. And then 2013 or 14, like Co-op Cup got bigger, changed the venue, it got bigger, and I started to participate, got more entries, and now it's what you see. It's what you saw in January. It's kind of bigger. It has the most entries now, and I've been playing like seriously till like end of May is when I went there, right? When I went to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to Fight Club 3, end of May, that's where I played seriously. And then from then I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
So that's basically it.
So in that, well, when you first started making videos, you said it was around 2003. 2003?
3.
At this point, you already knew RX beforehand, or was it something that you just met him in the arcade or something, or?
Yeah, I heard stories of RX about from Koshin and from other.
Koshin, Chun player, right?
Sugiyama, Vanao. Okay, Koshin, Sugiyama, Vanao, like Roshi Shikari and RX. Those are all Saitama players. And I heard stories about RX from Koshin, and even though we heard like rumors, but we didn't get to see each other. And got to see him like in 2000, I think, 2 or something. And then even though I was like maining Rue, we were talking a lot about Urian, and then we said, okay, why not make a vid together? And just to make things clear, there's like only one vid, the first one, the one that kind of like reflects all the projectiles. That's the only one I like seriously worked with RX. We kind of like shared a lot of information together, but that's like the only one the only one that we shared information, and we actually recorded at his house. I went there. It was a rainy day. My socks were drenched. I was feeling very bad. His dog was cute. And yeah, that's like the only one. And I don't know. Other than that, it was basically all by myself, I guess. Well, I got some inputs from like Vanao and other players, but
From there, you started just focusing more on the combo videos rather than actually like going to tournaments and stuff at that point.
Well, I mean, I thought like Urian had a lot of leftovers to do, leftover things to do, because he has so much potential. And like I didn't know how much he had. I still don't know at this point. So, you want to like get rid of things, right? When it's kind of like incomplete. So you want to get it done with. So I started working on it, and then at one time, I think it was 2009 or 10, I think, when I realized that, okay, this guy can't be finished. So that's why I'm kind of still working on it, and I kind of gave up last year. So that's why I'm using macro for the next one, and just like trying to get it over with. So yeah, I was working more on combo vids. So 2008 was pretty good, and 10 was also good. Last year was nice. Yeah.
So rKf, when you can you explain what attracted you about Third Strike? Like, for instance, did you play Second Impact? Did you play any of the other Street Fighter 3 games? No.
I did not play Second Impact. I actually went back to Second Impact after I played Third Strike.
Okay.
Because it was kind of fun.
So what'd you play before?
I played no titles like I did for like Third Strike. I played around with like KOF 99, and before that, no, I didn't play any games seriously. I just like had fun, and then most likely like Third Strike is like my first game that I went to like some random arcades and wanted to play other people, unknown people. But yeah, that's kind of like my first game that I played seriously.
And what attracted you about Third Strike?
What attracted me?
Like the way it moved, the characters. I mean, a particular character, Urian. I mean, because I know you said you started out with Ryu, so.
Yeah, I started out with Ryu because when I played Super Turbo, I like to fire projectiles. I love projectiles, by the way. So, Super Turbo's Ryu is so fun to play with. And like burning into ashes with just spending no meter, just building meter and firing fireballs all day long. So, what attracted me? Come to think of it, it's maybe because a lot of people were playing, and like Fujiwara killed me like in 6 seconds. So probably that attracted me the most because I use W as well and try to copy Fujiwara's style as much as I can. That's the way I love to play that character because I think it's the most fun, not like the most efficient or anything. It's just the most fun, and it was the most like devastating play style for me back in the days.
Didn't he use SA1?
I use SA1. I use SA1 a lot because he was using it, not my decisions.
Yeah.
But I do use 3, and he uses 3 as well. And SA3 is against like Alex 12, Hugo. Alex 12, Hugo. Yeah, maybe that's about it. Other than that, I think it's SA1.
So, going from the point where you switched to Urian, obviously when people start trying to get better and trying to get past that plateau where they stay like okay, they start making mistakes, they start getting into habits and things like that. Like, when exactly did you start seeing yourself improve? Like when you started going to tournaments more often, or Was it just something that you just like looked back on your matches and were just like, okay, I need to work on this, this, and this?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. I mean, you realize what you need to do when you take a step back,
Mm.
not learning from like your own mistakes, but you learn from like other people's matches,
Mm.
and then you learn the logics of like how this works, how this doesn't work, and what can you do to make it work.
Right.
Why will it never work forever? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, because some people they always, they tend to always ask me, and this is probably a question that every top player gets, like, oh, like, how do I get past that plateau? Like, I'm always, like, I know the matchup or something,
No, you don't.
but, well, exactly. I mean, people tell me like, I know this matchup, but then they still lose in a specific way,
Hmm.
and it's like, it's. I mean, you can just simply tell them like, oh, you just have to, focus on these normals more or something like that.
Mm-mm.
But it just doesn't click for them,
No, it doesn't. Because-
So, like that point where like it just clicks for you, and you're just like, okay, now I can start doing this.
Okay.
You know,
It's
So-
I think that Yang is kind of like a good example in a way because it's basically it's rock paper scissors, right?
Mhm.
And when you're using Yang, when you're trying to go in, and when you're trying to like hit people, you play rock paper scissors with that guy, and
Yeah.
there are like occasions when like your opponent can only stick out a rock or a paper,
yeah,
and what you have to do is basically just stick out your paper, and then you'll win, or like throw will be teched or something. You're like in an even position, right? Position again or something like that. So there are times that when you have the advantage, maybe it might be frame wise, maybe it might be like spacing wise, but you start to learn the logic and how the rock paper scissors take place, and then you learn. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm doing things right at this point, and then you run when you think, okay, I don't think I should be in this place. Like if you're playing against Chun-Li in mid game, if she has meter and she can like mix you up with low forwards and car throws, you're like, okay, I'm getting out, right? There's no point staying there. So then you learn from your mistake, you learn from the knowledge that other people gave you, and you learn from experience. So yeah, what you got to do is like take a step back, and then analyze what happened and what can happen. That's basically it. I think most of the Tokyo area players that are really good has done that before, and are still doing it now. That's why they don't want to make the same mistake twice. That's how they learn the matchup and stuff. Like everybody knows Chun-Li's scary if she has meter, like I said. But you got to start with why and how it works.
right.
See?
So in
Like how Chun-Li works.
How Chun-Li works, yeah. And basically nobody that I've seen, like outside of Japan, basically like nobody outside of Japan really knows how it works. Because she's far more scary than you guys think. And she can be even more scary if you know her options, because you know what she can do, but maybe your opponent might not be doing that, so maybe you're just being too scared at times. So that's kind of like a mind game going on, along with the rock paper scissors. That's what makes this game kind of complicated, overcomplicated, and a shitty game.
Yeah, actually, can you elaborate on that, rKf? Because I remember when you came to New York last May, you had mentioned that you thought Third Strike was a quote-unquote shitty game.
Oh,
And your English is really good, so I kind of know what you mean by shitty. But can you explain to the stream monsters what you mean when you say that Third Strike is a shitty game?
Yeah, well,
Because they might get the wrong idea when you say
yeah, well,
it.
I think I said this on stream, but I don't mind saying it again. Because let's say, like a master class player sitting down, like crouching, blocking, and then he's trying to bait like a forward parry, like looking for an overhead or something, and he's trying to tech. Well, if the opponent like moves in and gets into like car throw range, so he's focusing on the ground as well as the overhead, and then let's say that guy sees an overhead coming and he reacts it and gets a parry into full punish. Wow, that's like masterclass play, right? Focusing on the tech, looking at your opponent's moving in, and then while focusing on an overhead. And probably if the opponent jumps, he's probably likely to like back jump and buffer parry, and then like land safely. So that's kind of like a masterclass defensive play, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then let's say you're kind of like a scrub. You just want to like land combos, and then you just like close your eyes and you just okay, whatever. I'm just gonna try a forward parry, bam, and you got the overhead and get a full punish.
Mm-hmm.
So even the output can be the same between like a masterclass player and a scrub that just wants to land combos after parry. So that's what
I see. So it's like one of those things where yeah, like the result can be the same
Yeah.
no matter what the skill is, as long as you as
So-
long as you have like I guess the execution or something.
Yeah, so the skill, like, skills that require, like, techniques that require a lot of skills are not, like, at times, like, not too beneficial. And it's not sometimes worth it. You just, like, close your eyes and tap forward and you get the same output.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how people, like, quit back in the days. Like, there were more players and they said, oh, this is just stupid because you just, like, tap forward or just tap down. And
That's
you get,
actually, yeah. That's sorry to interrupt you, Say, but I wanted to piggyback on that because that's actually really interesting. Because you know what, a lot of the old school American players, they quit, they stopped, they lost an interest in Third Strike for the exact same reason.
They say it's
You know?
stupid, and they get tired of chuns and stuff. But I mean, Chun is like the villain, as maybe I told you guys. Chun has to be the villain,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like kind of like the necessary evil that you have to beat. So if Chun wasn't there, we kind of talk a lot between Japanese players. If Chun wasn't in the game, this game would have died even faster. Well, it might be. It's not dead right now, but
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
because
Well, yeah.
you need Chun. You have to have a goal. You have to have like a villain you have to beat. So you got to have like the boss at the end of like a role playing game, right?
That's like the
the-
exact opposite of the U.S.
That's what she is.
Because
Yeah.
all Americans blame Chun for killing the game
No.
here. But
you
I think what you said there, rKf, really highlights maybe the different mentalities that Japanese players have versus American players.
well,
You know,
Yeah.
like the fact that Chun, made people walk
Wait,
away
right?
from Third Strike
no,
in America.
no. You had to beat her because I think the Ibuki player Higa, the black Ibuki.
Mhm.
We used to talk a lot. I used to talk a lot with him, and then he recently said on Twitter, like to a Chun-Li player when Chun-Li player was kind of like getting tired of like people saying that Chun-Li's boring, Chun-Li's so strong, overpowered, blah blah blah, all that shit, and then Higa just like replied to him and says, "No, you need Chun-Li. Please don't quit Chun-Li."
Mhm.
And there were some people that were agreeing with that, and I do also. Because you have to beat that. You have to kill that bitch. That's what's fun about that game. Fun about the game.
Wow.
So yeah, of course you get bodied by chuns. Of course you get like mixed up in the corner. It's bad times when you're in the corner. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's not like okay, it's not like you're playing a Marvel game. Let's say Marvel 2.
Right.
You're not playing this dude right here. Like you're playing Sentinel, and let's say you're playing Sentinel and you're playing Dan. That's not even a game, right?
Right.
That's not even a game. It doesn't make sense. That is like a true 10-0. That is what you call a 10-0. But 10-0s don't exist. People say 10-0s don't exist. Okay, so I'll give you 9-1 for that matchup. And people talk about matchup. I hate numbers, by the way. I hate like saying like 8. Oh, it's 8-2. It's 7-3. I hate those kind of stuff. But Chun-Li is not that bad. It's not that bad compared to Dan and Sentinel, right?
Right.
So we are playing different games, and I think Marvel is a better game.
Wow. Okay.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Marvel 2, by the way, not 3. And yeah, so it's not that bad. Like, let's say, for example, Mutant, your character,
Mhm.
Necro.
Mhm.
If Chun-Li has meter, I mean that's pretty bad news for you, right? Because you're gonna lose like 40% health in one hit.
Mhm.
But if she doesn't have meter,
Yeah.
what can you do?
Mhm.
The ground game is basically yours.
Mhm.
See, you don't get a punish off a low forward. You don't get a punish like after like a crouch fierce or standing fierce, and your standing strong can like punch Chun-Li's face like
Mhm.
outside of a back fierce, right?
Yeah, it goes over her back fears.
Yeah, and who builds meter faster?
Mhm.
Well, if you whiff moves, I mean, Chun-Li builds meter mad fast with back fairs, but he can punish that, right? And the
Mhm.
fastest way to build meter in this game is try to touch your opponent with their normals, right?
Mhm.
And who has longer limbs? Who has longer arms? You do.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, like, Mochi, the Chun-Li player, he's kind of, like, very, very logical. He says,
Mhm.
the first round against Necro, it's so tough. It's mad tough.
Mhm.
Because, like, Necro has the advantage. You get a toucher, and then if you build meter, hit confirm or random or whatever, electric snake, you get the wake up, and let's say you get like a little parry or something. That's the end of the round. So Chun-Li can die so easily. She's not like Hugo or Yuri and she has mad health. No, she doesn't.
Yeah,
And
like when I play Chun players with Necro, my goal, well, like my perfect goal is win first round, and like this is like the ideal situation for a Necro player. Win the first round, and Chun has, I'll even give her 1 meter at the end of the round. Maybe like a little bit, like maybe like 3/4 of a meter. To me, that's like what I always shoot for when I play a Chun player. Like I want to win the first round. Like this is like the perfect scenario, right? Win first round, and she has like 3/4 a meter. I mean, it's unrealistic for her to expect her to have less, right? Because when you guys are going back and forth, she's gonna build meter regardless.
Yeah.
But that's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, Say. Like it's like when people see Chun, right? Like, oh God, Chun, she's so OP, right? She's so powerful.
No.
But
Yeah, so Necro can easily kill her if you get the chance, if you make the right decisions and stuff in the first round. Just because Necro builds meter faster, he has longer limbs, and by getting the meter faster than she does, it becomes a threat, right? So you get the knockdown, blah blah blah. And same with your character, Lloyd. Yang. Slashes? What are they? I mean, that's broken, man.
Oh my
Thank
god.
you, thank you,
Oh my god.
Thank
Slashes?
you.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
You get a knockdown after a hit, and
Notice, Lloyd, when rKf was explaining Chun versus Necro, he did not use the word broken. The first thing he mentioned when your character word broken.
Okay,
Hold
let me tell you why. What's broken? Let me tell you why. Just what actually is broken on with Yang's move.
Don't hide, son.
It's the
Whatever.
It's the meter. It's the meter that you get off
Yeah.
of the first hit of the slashes,
Mhm.
and on a hit you get like tons of meter. Even on a block, you get a lot.
The funny thing about that is that I was actually showcasing that yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see
With
it.
because I was going through Say and Embu stuff and I was trying to talk about like the that exact point with the meter building and how when Yang uses Say and Embu against somebody like Hugo, it builds really really fast simply by doing like a close standing fierce into light punch slash. It builds like half. It builds like almost half his bar.
Yes.
It literally builds like 49% of his bar,
Mhm.
and then he can just do two standing fierces into jab slashes, and that's it. He has bar right there. So it's just funny that you mentioned that because it is pretty easy to build meter, but
Mhm.
I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people have trouble with it because he needs that meter.
Yeah.
He needs that EX meter to actually do damage. Whereas if he didn't, what would he have?
So
You
yeah,
know?
I mean, I think you guys saw the latest Quap Cup and what happens when Yang is on a roll. See? So, I won't say if I was talking to that guy that actually won OCB the tournament, I wouldn't dare say slashes are broken. It's because of you, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And anyways, slashes are really good, but on the flip side, that's all he has basically. And his low forward is mad good, yeah, but Chun-Li's low forward is a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah, it's
So Chun-Li, you can make Yang has the potential of like making Chun-Li have a hard time. Same with Necro, and of course Yang. The way Yang wins ideally is just like getting in and just like maul over her, and what Japanese tend to say when they play KO is that I can't get up, I can't step, I can't get up. So yeah, Yang has those kind of moves. If you play the rock paper scissors correctly, and if you win 3 times in a row, you get a stun, and then that's your round, right? So it's the way he plays on paper. It's easy. The way when you actually sit in the cab and you try to do that, it's mad hard because when you're in
Thank
trouble,
you.
you're like, okay, so the buttons I push is low forward and EX slashes, right? That's all I get. Okay, so let me try approaching from the air, dive kick, parry, low forward, super, 40%, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you can get desperate so really easily, and when you're like playing a defensive game, and when you're like waking up, and he doesn't have like invul moves, right? Like DPs and stuff. So you're in trouble at that time. So it's like, oh, now I can't get up, right? So things that like that can happen. So
Yeah.
that's how like like the mind games and the rock paper scissors like happen like all the time throughout the round, throughout the game. So it's kind of the game itself is kind of unstable. It's not like you're locking down somebody with cable and sentinel.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There are no
That's why,
vortexes or anything. Yeah.
yeah, that's why people I think continue playing this game because the outcome is never the same.
Hmm.
So, I mean that's part of the fun, and it's really hard to like balance those kind of games. Like I don't even play I haven't like even played single game of Street Fighter 4, but they patched it a lot and they try to like rebalance the game so that everybody plays. I mean that's I don't know if it's a good thing to do, but they try to like balance it out. While Third Strike, well, it got patched once because they have a new version, but we don't use that anymore, so it's kind of like gone from history.
Right.
And like Alpha 3 and Third Strike and like CVS 2, they never patched that because they didn't have the tech at that time, of course, but they never patched it. So the balance is kind of like made by us players. So the creators, Capcom, I don't think they really have to like worry about it because they just
Yeah.
set it out and we'll try to make it balance it out somehow. Well, Chun-Li was overpowered, yes. It is. It is. She is good.
Right.
But she doesn't win every single match, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like if we were playing Dan, you, me, Dan, and suddenly this robot comes out of nowhere and goes rocket punch. I mean, that's game.
Yeah.
But that's
I mean,
not happening.
yeah, that's like you bring up kind of a controversial point, say. I mean, because when you think about it, all these modern games
Hmm.
and this emphasis on balance,
With updates and everything too.
it's always been a concern. But when you think about it, this desire for balance has coincided with an increased involvement with players creating the game.
Uh,
You know, like like old school games like CVS2, Third Strike. I mean, did you have actual tournament players involved in developing these games?
I don't know of any.
I don't think so.
I don't, but
Right?
I had a friend that actually test played Marvel 2,
Hmm.
and stories I heard from him was that like you had like maximum of like 9 bars or something. You start off with 3,
Hmm.
and like Thanos, the last boss of Marvel superheroes, was there. He was like he had like every single move that he had was like kind of like a broken projectile. So I heard like stories about that. That had to be like not patched, but like correctly made.
Right.
So it's kind of like a different story. But other than
Yep,
that,
yeah.
I heard nothing.
Yeah, because
Right.
the changes they make now are are
Brought up by the
tournament.
players.
Yeah,
because,
and
like
it's
like A's too good, so we made it B. And
yeah.
most of the cases, that Plan B sucks
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you were plus after this. Oh, so now you're negative. What?
The funny thing that you bring up about that is that that's exactly what we were talking about earlier with Yun,
Uh-huh.
with Yun's changes in like Street Fighter 4, like his original, he was so fucked up in AE. It was so bad.
Mm-mm.
Like literally almost anybody can play him, man. Yun and Yang too. I mean, I remember I picked up Yang in AE and I actually got top 3 in one random tournament just because I picked him up and practiced for like a week or something. And it's like then they started patching him or updating the game or whatever.
Mhm.
And he's still almost just as strong as he was, if not maybe even a little bit stronger because of the red focus. But
Uh-huh.
the funny thing is like all the players trying to force the balance that they want.
Mm-mm.
It's as if they're making it even more unbalanced in that sense because they're pushing Capcom to make these changes, but it's like every change is going to change something else in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those like people have to understand, like the newer players have to understand that there will never ever be balance in that way.
No.
You will never find balance. I mean, even in fighting games, no matter what game it is, it's never balanced.
It's never going to be, and it's better to stay that way because nobody would say Third Strike is a balanced game,
Yeah.
and yet still people play, and yet still
Mhm.
people enjoy the game.
Mhm.
Even though a lot of people say Chun-Li's overpowered, yes, I understand, but as I said, she's needed in the game. She has to be there, and I understand that like Americans like quit playing low tier characters because they couldn't beat Chun-Li. Probably, I'm guessing. Because when you're playing, let's say Remy, and you're trying to like throw sonic booms a lot, you're doing all these charge partitioning and stuff. You're like risking your life for those kind of triangle dive kicks and stuff. And then, yeah, well, it's true. Every time you do that move, you're like, please hit, please.
Take half my life. I'm
Yeah.
begging you. End the round.
While I'm crouching too.
Did you see that? Did you see that team tournament? Say on TV from Mitsu TV when Piero beat Rikamaru.
Yeah, like the top 3 players, right?
Yeah.
You can look back at the footage and his play style. I played him a couple of times, but his play style is he's like risking his life. He's just going in, right? He's not staying back and throwing dishes. So yeah, staying back and throwing sonic booms or dishes or saucers or whatever, frisbees or whatever you want to call them, doesn't get you anything. Just gives your opponent meter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
So, yeah, getting back to where I was. I mean, like people quit. I think Remy because of like Chun-Li, and people can quit Hugo because of Chun-Li, because there are some moves that you can't, like deal with, like standing strong from Chun-Li. It's really good in certain matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alex has a hard time with that punch as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Alex, yeah, he has a hard time against Chun-Li as well. So I understand people quit because Chun-Li's kind of, it's kind of simple. You just like stand there and push buttons, and basically you got nothing to do.
Right.
But yeah, you got choices. You can quit if you like, sure, but you can change characters, yeah, or you can like go to the lab, do a lot more research, and then if you've done all that, and then now it's your time to get desperate. Maybe I should pick up Chun. See?
What's funny is that some of the lower tier players, like for example Piero, like he does okay against the Chun players.
Mhm.
But another low tier player who I've seen, Genki,
Mhm.
he always does well against like in the past few tournaments that I've seen him play against like MOV, he always like took him down to pretty much the wire. So it's like it is possible to beat this character no matter how low your character is.
Oh yeah, I won't. Yeah, in a 1-to-1, yes, I would say anything is possible.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because let's say, like 5 years from now, Third Strike is still barely alive. There's tournaments in Japan, and then like tournaments are filled with like Chuns and Yuns and Ken, even more. And then this one random guy picks up 12 and then like shows up and just like bodies everybody. Right? It can't happen because people would say, "Damn, I forgot 12." See?
Yeah.
So that could happen.
So
Yes.
rKf, you're gonna stick around in the show,
Yes,
but
sir.
I wanted to end this interview with something that we've done in the past with other special guests, and so we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a phrase or word association. So I'm gonna put up a word or a phrase on the screen,
Mhm.
and I just want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, just the first thing that comes to mind. So do you get the game?
Yeah,
Do you
does
get
have
it?
to be English?
You could say it both in English and Japanese if you want.
Okay.
Okay, so
All
I'm just gonna type in I'm gonna type in random things, right? Well, they're not random. I've picked them out, and then you're just gonna tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay? You ready?
Yeah. Wait. I think I need this with me, right?
Yeah, maybe. If you plan on taking some shots, if you plan on
Wait, save that
bang.
for the end of the stream where it says parting shots.
Yeah, parting shots.
All right. Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. So ready? So the
All right,
first
let's go.
phrase is getting better at third strike. First thing that comes to mind.
Quit.
Okay, we're off to a hot start here. Next phrase, Red Perry.
Block.
Block. Okay, and hopefully you'll understand the English spelling of this. Cuss. Cuss. What's the first
Banal.
thing? Vanilla.
But now,
Okay. All right. Now, take the gun out for this one. You may need the gun out for this one.
a little lower.
Oh, okay.
American Third Strike.
Put the gun down.
Is it?
Put it down.
Is it that bad? That bad, huh? All right. All right.
Shots.
Next one. Nuki versus MOV.
No comments.
Ooh.
Oh, come on!
Nah,
RKF.
that one needs a comment.
Come on, RKF.
That one needs a
I
comment.
mean, like, which one are you referring to?
Oh, Nuki versus MOV.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Whatever the first thing that comes to mind. Like I know you thought of something and then you thought of the no comment the second time. So what
Well-
was it that you were suppressing?
okay, I don't want to let you guys down, but honestly, I don't care. Because, you know, I haven't played these two gentlemen. I've only played MLB once in a tournament.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, and as I said, you know, I wasn't there at the scene for like 6 years, right? That was the time when these two players were really, really active. They were like dominating the SBO scenes and everything, and I wasn't even there. So one time in 2014, I had a chance to I think play Nuki, and Higa was the one that was playing. So I said, "Hey, can I play him?" And then Higa looks up to me and he goes like, "Well, yeah, Nuki doesn't really like Yuri in matchups, and he didn't like let me sit." So I was like, "Okay, oh well."
What?
Wow, really?
Wow.
Yeah, Higa's a funny guy. No, I mean, like, correctly interpreted, that means he wanted to play, not me. He wanted to
Oh,
play
okay,
more than I
okay,
did.
okay.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine because Nuki doesn't really show up a lot in arcades. I don't think now, but so I mean, it's if these two gentlemen are like people I play often, I can definitely comment.
Mhm.
But I don't want to be too rude to them because I don't know them in person.
True.
And of course, I respect both of their gameplays, and you know their play styles are both different, and a lot of people talk about it. But I'm not a Chun-Li player, and
But
I-
seeing them, like, if you were to see like Nuki and MOV, like seeing their Chuns like play or something like that, what would come to mind?
okay,
Like differences, like when I say I don't necessarily want you to choose one or the other.
No, no, I mean,
whatever
like-
comes to mind.
it's Nuki's kind of like the play that like nobody can copy.
Mhm.
That's true.
It's logical, but at the same time, it's like flash of insight. Just like the idea comes out from nowhere, bam, and then he
Mhm.
gets it done. So, yeah, I think really, it's just simply that Nuki is good in fighting games in general.
Mm.
True.
So, you know, you see his CVS2 plays, he uses N and he just rushes in at you and just like demons you and stuff, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
See, so that's not like the typical like end groove type of play. You use Yori or like stay back build meter, you do guard cancels and stuff. No, no, no. You don't have to do that because if you're Nuki and you're capable of doing like unexpected things and you can like get into their heads easily. I mean, that's all you gotta do. It's good because that's all it takes to win. While MLV, he does things right, very, very right.
Okay.
That's all. Basically, that's all I can say because it's
Mhm.
you know these mind games in this game. Not only this games, but it makes your mind game easier when you have your opponent make mistakes.
Mhm.
And before you do the rock paper scissors, you can do all sorts of things to make your opponent make more mistakes. You know, you have like preparations, like show moves, whiff moves, and stuff, and show them that you're focusing on the anti-air or you're focusing on the ground, and then you approach them, and then you play the rock paper scissors games, and then you have like a better chance of winning. That's like making them make mistakes, while it seems like you're not like touching them or anything. So when you do things right, you have a better chance of making mistakes, as I said. So I think that's kind of like the impression I get from him. And these two players can, I think, pull out, like, I won't say like the maximum potential, but their usual games in tournament play. So it's scary, of course, in casuals, but it's also scary when you play them in tournaments because they're focused, they don't want to lose, and they're well experienced, and they're, I think, in a way, professional. Not like pro gamers or anything, but so yeah. I wish I could play these two. It's him and Rikimaru. I wish I could play against these three Chun-Lis,
Hmm.
All
but
right.
maybe I might not. Okay, so what's the next one? Do I need to zap you now?
Maybe.
Oh,
Okay. This you should definitely do.
oh God! Wow. I didn't even know he was gonna pull this out. Jesus Christ.
Okay, this you should definitely do. Not just for like both individuals like simple satisfaction or anything, but this you should just do for the future of American Third Strike.
Okay.
And I'm being pretty serious with this because I know both of you, and I talk with both of you a lot. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's like a serious rivalry or anything. No, it's just that it's two good players in the same country. Well, they don't live close together, but should play just for like I don't know, just for fun or anything. It could just be for fun. It can be for anything. You guys should just play because you will definitely enjoy playing each other. Just like through the game, not like talking shit, but yeah, this you should definitely do because Yuki has a number of characters he can use aside from Yun, and you the same aside from Yang. And let's say you guys like sat together on a cab, like let's say 10 a.m. in the morning, and you guys both have like a backpack or something, and inside you got like a sandwich for lunch, and then you got like I don't know, 4 gallons of water or something beside you, and then you guys sit down and say, okay, let's play. And then I bet you guys can play until like 2 a.m. nonstop. Unless like one says, okay, sorry, I gotta go to the gents. Oh, so do I. And then you guys will like stand up at the same timing. and then like go take a leak and come back and say, okay, you want to switch sides? Okay, sure. And then let's switch sides and just play until like the arcade's closed or anything. I think that's how much you guys will enjoy just this game.
Sure.
And maybe it's better if you guys like took notes or something and then try to get in their head or something. And like let's say one wants to take a break and then I guess the other would agree and then just keep on playing without like nobody bothering you.
Yeah.
I think that's how much you guys can enjoy. At least you, Nika. I think you can enjoy. I don't know. I don't really care like who's better or like who sucks or who got bodied. Or I don't even care about that. I'm just thinking you guys would have a great time, and I think the whole country would get hyped with this with this like if there was this kind of meeting.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess one of the prime objectives of Fight Club at this point is to like get this matchup going.
Hmm.
So, I mean I haven't played in a Fight Club match since
Now,
probably
mhm.
since probably even now. So,
So Lloyd, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have played Yuki in casuals before online, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we played a bunch of times.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's better.
But never live.
We played
Oh, didn't you play at Sunroof Cup?
yeah, but I don't think we actually played like yeah, I don't think we actually played like there.
Mm.
I mean, from what I remember, I first played him online, and when I met him at Sunroof Cup, it was mainly obviously it was just MOV there,
Mhm.
so we didn't really have time to like say like hey like let's sit down and especially because at that time like we weren't really like as strong as we are now.
Mhm.
So I guess ever since we leveled up, we've never played offline.
Okay.
So
Well,
so
I said for the country, but I can take that back. And you guys can actually play like secretly, like keep it confidential,
mm,
then like have like a secret gathering somewhere in America where there's a cab, and no streaming, no recording. Or you can record if you like, but no recording preferred. No streaming. Like
Oh no, I will insist that it's streamed.
oh, no, no. My
I
point
will
is it
insist.
shouldn't be streamed. And
Okay.
because
because a lot of people will pick on you guys no matter what the outcome is or the result is.
true. But I mean that's the way it is in America, you know.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's
what I'm
America
saying
in
is
general.
that Yuki would enjoy. I think he would enjoy your level of play, and same with you. You would enjoy his play, and that's all there is. I mean, that's all you need actually.
Mm.
Just high level play. You guys enjoyed it. GG's. That's all. That-
Okay.
That's all. And
Nice.
then it kind of like remains a legend. Like, oh, like Yuki played Nika. Nika played Yuki, and then who won? Oh, okay, nobody knows except for those two. Blah blah blah. And so, as the rumor like spreads out, there might be like other players that are stepping up, like want to challenge you guys at some point. Like, okay, I heard about the secret meeting.
So use it as like an urban legend or something like
Oh
that,
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. It can work that way.
Well, it's no longer an urban legend since rKf is outlining this plan.
Yeah, exactly. But
It
you know,
loses some mystique, but okay, I get it.
Yeah, but if these two were playing, I'd be there.
so much for top secret.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so much for
much
top secret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
No one can be there except Say.
except for me. So is there another one?
Yes.
Let's
We
go.
have a couple more.
All right.
Best special move in Third Strike. Not super art, special move. I don't know how you say that in Japanese. Like
Can it be-
a
Like
special move,
like a
not a
fireball for you,
something that
Can it
like
be,
like a command
It
motion.
can be a
Okay.
command grab, it can be a DP, whatever. What do you
okay,
think?
can it be like an EX move?
Yeah.
Okay. I can name like 3 broken EX moves
Okay.
because we talked about this before. 1,
Okay.
EX headbutt.
hmm
2, EX air tatsu.
Yeah,
Wait, EX Air Tatsu can.
Of course.
I'm just clarifying, okay? Say,
for the
alright?
stream monsters, because
Not
some people
everyone is.
No, 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 no. It's rude.
Uh,
No, it's rude. It does hella damage. No, it doesn't.
some people would be disillusioned and say like, oh, Ryu's EX Tatsu is so good, but it's like really like because we had to clarify,
Okay,
so
it's EX headbutt, EX air tatsu by Ken, and EX flashers.
oh Jesus Christ.
So a lot of people are saying like having the same or the similar opinion,
Mhm.
and I kind of agree, because if EX head was not throwable on the first frame, where the normal headbutt can't be thrown but EX can, it would have been even more broken.
Yeah.
So those are like probably the three best I could say
How
EX
about
moves in the game.
how about
And
non-EX moves?
if it's like let's say if it's a normal,
Non-EX move.
if it's a normal move.
Because for example, I heard from Lloyd that the Japanese think that Stomp, two boots, Alex.
Mhm.
is
Oh wait,
still
no,
good, or
I remember we were talking about it, and you said that that stomp was one of the best special moves. Like normal stomp was one of the strongest moves.
And that is
So
mad good, because what can you do to punish? If it's a cross up and you block, you're like next to each other, so you can do like a reversal super. But if you block from the front, not many characters have a punish,
Mhm.
and you get like you get uh like an enormous amount of like reward if that move hits, because you get an Oki, you get like a setup after that, you get like a mix up, but it's -3 on block. So basically, what can be used to punish is like Shippu, Ken's Super 3, and Corkscrew blow, and other than that, none. See, it's just safe to fire it out, unless you get like jumped over and you get hit from the top.
and that's the funny thing too, because it's just a normal special, and
Mhm.
if you block it, you're almost forced to waste a super in
Mhm.
order to punish it. Whereas with other specials, if you block it, there's a high chance that you can just punish it normally. So it just goes to show how difficult it is. Like not only that, but if it crosses up and you're crouching or something, it does like massive damage.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And then again, like you said, it gives an extra setup. So it's just, you know. So I figured one of the best normal specials would be Stomp.
Yeah,
So
that stomp is really good. But if it was, yeah, it's Alex, so it didn't like suit him too much. But let's say if it was, it'd be really awkward visually. But let's say like Ibuki had that. She would like stomp on you, and like Hugo would be like flat on the floor. So I mean that's kind of bizarre. But if she like stomps on Hugo, and then her dash can like like hop over like dead bodies and stuff, right?
Mm.
So what you can do is with Ibuki is if you get a stomp, you get like serious mix-up, and that can be scary, right? And then you can like cancel moves into like stomps again, like front and back, cross up, mix up, and stuff. So yeah, maybe it might not be best move. It might not be like considered as a best move because Alex had it, but just like on paper, it's really good.
Right.
And I'm just gonna try to mention like normal moves, but like for normal moves, one of the best would be like Chun's low forward. Of course, are really good,
Mm.
mad good, but it makes it kind of like gives you an impression it's like too broken because there's a super that comes after that. It does hella damage,
Right.
but like that move itself, I won't say it's weak, but it's not that broken.
It's not like as threatening as it's supposed to be
No,
with the super behind it. Yeah.
because let's say if you can like link the fireball after the slow forward like in any distance and then like cancel into super or something, then it's kind of like legit kind of move like like Goki's low forward fireball into super, right?
Right.
So it kind of if it kind of works that way, that's totally understandable. But you get just like a low, not low, sorry, very late confirm into super. Wow, why did Capcom make it like this? It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like bizarre. And so it's not that's not that scary as a move itself, but what's scary is like let's say Hugo's standing strong
Mm. As a normal, like
as
just
a normal
a regular.
as a normal. I mean, isn't that scary?
Yeah. I mean, you got to worry about walking into it and everything. I mean, you.
Yeah, it does hella damage. It does hella stun, and it's almost unpunishable on block. And it's long. It has a long reach, and you don't have like a hurt box on the bottom, just like the hand sticks out.
It's hella parry bait too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean-
everyone tries to parry it.
That's why you get sleep, right?
Yeah.
See, so
It's like,
Like
oh,
that-
that's slow. I could parry that. Whack. Smack in the
Nah.
face. Nah.
Nah.
and then you miss time and you get hit, right? And you get
Right.
scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awfully good. Like Dudley's roundhouse is broken as well. I can name a couple of others, but let's stick to of all the moves I didn't mention. Let's stick to EX slashes. How's that?
All right.
No.
I like it. EX slashes.
Oh,
I think we've all
fucking hell.
agreed. EX slashes.
No.
right.
Okay. Well,
So next, second to last word.
okay.
Vegas reflector.
This is, I would say, just simply one word. It's a dream,
Hmm.
or
That's very subtle.
or I can say hell
Hell.
because it's
Okay.
never ending.
Okay.
Extraordinarily subtle.
Yeah. Hell. Hell.
Okay.
Okay. What's the next one?
And the last one. Third strike. 20 years from now.
Moment of silence.
Dead.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Alright.
Because just because the game itself is well made, but I think you know how like the young people meaning like teenagers or below,
Mhm.
like how they like stick to playing more
The newer games, I guess.
newer games, not like fighting games, but games itself is kind of like changing because now they spend a lot more time like playing around with their smartphones and PCs, and they become more bloodless. I think they don't like the competition. They don't like the race,
Mm.
and you have to be at least a little bit bloodthirsty to play these
Competitive,
kind
yeah.
of third strike
Yeah.
competitive fighting games, right? Because you're like literally you're punching the opponent or kicking your opponent.
Well, not literally, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I meant in screen. I meant in the screen. So yeah, games are going to change, And probably, I'm guessing Street Fighter 2 would stay alive because it's like the origin. It started off like that. Every single game started off with Street Fighter 2. So people would remember that. And I think maybe the port might be really bad, but I think that there will still would be a number of players playing that game because it's simple. It's very simple. It's easy to understand. And even though Claw is overpowered, it's a shitty game. People wouldn't mind that because they just want to have fun. Probably people wouldn't be playing Street Fighter 2 like seriously as some people do now.
Mhm.
And the game scene would be changing, as I said. So Street Fighter 2 might stay alive, but Third Strike is too,
Too
uh,
advanced.
yeah, too advanced, too unique, and sometimes not too appealing. I mean, sometimes looks a little bit boring because Chun mirror matchups. I think a lot of people quit because of that. Because people think it's boring as hell, right?
Mhm.
But the players are serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So people that would support the scene would keep on playing that game needs to understand what's happening in that Chun mirror matchup, which is a very very tall order for them.
Yeah.
Because as I said, like you mentioned, like two big names, two big Chun Li names, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't really care much, right?
Yeah.
So I played for like 10 years or something, and yet I still don't care much.
Mhm.
And how can like the new players care about those matchups, support the scene, and try to keep this game alive for 20 years, where
Okay.
like all the Dreamcasts, PlayStations, Xboxes are gonna be like outdated, and so you can't really find a system to play on.
That's true.
So I guess I need this guy's help right here.
I guess I should have put like 10 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the Dreamcast.
Wow, that's pretty old.
Yeah, I play Marvel too. I play Third Strike. I actually bought Dreamcast because of Third Strike. I bought two sticks, which were both shitty. We managed to play with that. And what I'm trying to say is that Third Strike is not going to be like a new game. It's not going to be like, oh, it's a new game. It's going to be released in 2035 or something.
Mhm.
So for us, for me at least, it was a new game on console. So that's why we had to buy it. We didn't have the lab. We didn't have like training mode or anything. So that's why we had to buy it. But it's not going to be like that 20 years from now. So games are going to change. And if it was 10 years, I would say it would still be barely alive.
Mhm.
Maybe there might be more players than now. Maybe,
Oh, okay.
maybe.
But 20 is a little too long.
S1 is a little too long, yeah, because the whole system is going to change.
Who
Like when
knows?
we say, I
Who
don't know.
knows if we're? Who knows if the world's gonna still be standing? I don't know.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys have been to Japanese arcades where you stick coins or not Japanese but any arcade in back in the days. You got a quarter, you got a bunch of quarters, you stick it in per game, right?
Mhm.
And
Mm.
those are what the Japanese call arcades or game centers in the Japanese way.
Mhm.
But next level is what you guys call an arcade, but it has totally a different style, right?
Mhm.
Right.
You pay like the venue fee in the beginning, and then you like step in and you play as much as you want, right?
Mhm.
So the styles might change into like the next level kind of way,
Mhm.
not like the traditional like one coin, one game style.
Mhm.
So who knows? But 20 years, probably people forget about Third Strike. I guess.
Okay.
All right. Well,
So,
RKF,
wait,
thank you for all that insight. We're gonna take a short break, and
Mhm.
RKF has already started the process of killing all the old games by dropping his classic consoles. So when we come back, RKF's gonna stick around, and we're actually gonna have a very special Okie of the week. We're gonna watch a couple of RKF matches.
Oh,
And we're going to see what RKF has to say about his performance, and hopefully we can get a little insight on how Japanese Third Strike players watch their vids and
all right.
what kind of insight he might have. So we're going to take a short break, about 2 or 3 minutes, and we will be back, guys. If you enjoyed RKF's interview, stick around. Later, guys. All right, welcome back, Third Strike fans. My name is Mutant XP alongside Nika KO, and tonight we have a very special guest in the House of Strikes, which is rKf,
Hello.
Japanese Urian master player. And so, uh,
You're in
uh,
scrub.
Yeah,
oh,
scrub.
you're
I'm a scrub.
at least he doesn't rely on EX slashes. Oh, pow
Where's the gun?
pow.
Where's the gun?
Where's
Where's
the
the gun?
gun?
Where's the gun? There you go. Stop the dumbass.
Light him up. So, for our
Yo, that's a new profile picture on Facebook.
RKF looks mad
Should be.
thuggerish with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need an update.
Yeah, seriously. So, for our next segment, we're going to look at a couple matches of RKF, and we just wanted to get a sense of what RKF thinks about those matches and what he was thinking about them. And so, this is what we call the Oki of the week, which is where we watch a couple matches, and
The legit
you know,
of the week.
and just give our analysis. And so, let's go ahead and get started.
Stop
So
it.
the first match is a match from a generals battle. I think a East versus West battle, and
Yes.
it's RKF taking on Lloyd, taking on
Hi.
Taihe?
Taihe.
Taihe, yeah.
Which is
So,
a very, 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 very bad example.
Now Urian versus Urian. What are your thoughts on this match, RKF?
It gets very shitty when one gives up.
One gives up doing what?
When one gives up playing seriously.
Oh, okay.
Like, look
Is
at
this
that.
what happens in this
Like-
match?
Yeah, I mean, like, I knew that he doesn't play, like, I mean, he doesn't play seriously. I mean, like, he does play seriously, but he's kind of like, you know, a little bit dumb, I guess.
What? Shots.
A little bit
Oh my
dumb.
God.
I mean,
Damn.
nobody. Okay. And nobody thinks he is a smart player or he is like an intelligent player of any sort. And I knew that. So at this match, I decided to play dumb as well.
Okay.
So I mean, you would never see me like trading tackles and headbutts because I don't fire head tackles at that point. Because I know what
Yeah, I
stinks.
don't even know what you tried there. What did you do? How did you get hit by that last time?
I don't even know. So that's why I said this is a very, very bad example.
Oh, this is cute.
This is called the Flying Anago Special. Really. There was this legendary player named Anago,
Uh-huh.
and he made that setup. That's why it's called the Flying Anago Special.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Okay.
And it was famous back in the days,
Mhm.
but now people kind of like forgot about it. So now it kind of works now because people don't know.
Mhm.
And this was actually what the Japanese like to call. I don't like the term a lot, but it's what people like to call a risk match,
Mhm.
where the better player only has risks playing that player because if you win, it's just like okay, just normal. But if you lose, they're gonna pick on you for losing.
Yeah.
So that's why it was called the risk match. And Tominaga was the one that was holding the mic right here, and then he was saying, "Oh, this is gonna be a risk match for you," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I know."
Yeah.
So,
like every match, me and Lloyd play one another. So,
Oh my God. Seriously.
So yeah, there was nothing really special about that match except that I was playing very, very like reckless. I was just doing things. I didn't mind. I wasn't doing any calculations. I was just saying like, okay, I'm a body you, right?
But in terms of like, the normal way you would play like the normals in that matchup, like it's just you just threw out normals or something like that, or you was just
I'll play a bit conservative. I would like to build more meter. I mean, I wouldn't be firing that much random tackles. I mean, it got parried. It got parried in the first round. I'm like, what the fuck, right? But then it's like I don't care
yeah.
in that actual match. But even if I do play conservative the way I do usually play, and my tackles can get parried, like launched into tackles for a punish. But then it wouldn't be like I don't care. It would be like okay, I gotta stay alert. It's kind of like a different mindset.
Right.
So it's
So
like
in some instances you were playing very very solid, but then in other points when you had the advantage you would just go in like you wouldn't care or something.
nah, I didn't care. I didn't care throughout the whole match. So if I was like the last man standing, that's all that mattered. So I don't even care about the process. I was like, okay, I'm a body this guy. That's all.
I like it.
So the second match on the on deck is one of the matches from
First to 10?
RKF's first to 10 against Jiro.
Okay.
So
I don't know which match this was, but if you want me to start with excuses, that's fine. And if you don't,
Well, let's just say this is the match you win.
okay. But okay, this day I think I remember because I don't usually play first to tens unless they're foreigners or something because all the Japanese players don't want to play foreigners. And this I will tell you, I got bodied 10-3 or something. And okay, well I was fully exhausted at this time. I was like, okay, so I just showed up to watch somebody, but
Mm. You got
like
suckered into
yeah, the
participating.
owner said, "Hey, we have a spot available. Do you want to play?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to play. I don't want to play." But then I ended up playing,
Uh-huh.
and then I got bodied. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, that
Mhm.
happens."
What? Oh, you want to tackle at that point when you
Yep,
did low roundhouse? Yeah.
yep. And yeah, I couldn't
So
focus.
was it sort of the same mindset versus Taihei where you were
No,
just
no,
like,
no. This I tried to play seriously since I was gonna play. I was on stream. I tried to play seriously,
Mhm.
mm,
and which I did play seriously, but I mean the plays were really sloppy. I had
right.
no adaptations. I was playing very, very bad actually. And
So in that instance, when you know that like you're playing like really like you're fucking up your motions, you're like messing up everything. Like, how do you compensate for that? Like, do you just
Do you
focus on
keep
the
trying
normals?
to? Do you keep
oh,
trying to
okay,
do the
okay,
same
that's the
things? Do
question.
you?
First you like start off with like you're thinking like, okay, I got hit by the same thing twice or three
Mhm.
times, and then
Right.
you get tired of that, right?
Mhm.
So at least you try to focus on that one. Let's say if you're playing against Goki
Mhm.
or Akuma, his overhead is mad good, right?
Mhm.
And Urian, charge character, he likes to sit back. He likes to sit down, right?
Mhm.
And he has a big body when crouching. So a lot of Goki players, when I play Goki, I use a lot of those overheads,
Mhm.
and then you get hit by it because it's not that slow. You can't throw them, and if
Uh-huh.
you try to parry, you'll get hit by lows, and
Mhm.
low hurts more because Goki
Mhm.
doesn't mind doing low forward into like middle tatsu or roundhouse tatsu,
Mhm.
which is very hard to like distinguish and punish.
Mhm.
So their main aim is like try to get the low through and not the
Mhm.
overhead.
Mhm.
So when you're getting hit by the same things twice, three times, and then you what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't get frustrated with that.
Mhm.
You should try to like you should try to think what's behind that.
Mhm.
What's their main aim? It's not their overhead because if Goki wants to kill Urien with an overhead, he's got to hit him like 30 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not their main like objective. I mean,
Mhm.
it helps because it builds a stun meter, and you notice Urien has like normal length of stun. So yeah, it's good to like approach that way, like building a lot of stun, like using more overheads, like close roundhouse. It works as an overhead as well. It builds hella stun,
Right.
but you can't just be like can't just be like focusing on that actual move you got hit by. So you gotta like, as I said, like step back and think, okay, so I'm getting hit by overheads, but that doesn't hurt as much. So what does he really want? So that's how you kind of like reconstruct your game plan
Hmm.
and think, so probably this overhead is working just like a pressure, just as a pressure, and he like really maybe wants to go in and hit me solidly with a parry and like a low forward into like light tatsu into DP, which is serious damage. So same way works with like the demon flip throw
Right.
because since Urian's tall and big, he's very very easy to throw.
Mhm.
I mean, like not compared to Q or Hugo, they're like free to throw because they're so big. But you get the throws, you're getting hit by the throws. But what you don't want to get hit by is the demon flip dive kick, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The full combo.
That's
Yeah.
The
full
full
combo, right?
combo.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're thinking, okay, so I don't want, so I'm letting the demon flip fly at me, and I'm still at the ground, and I don't have and I didn't buffer a super. Like I get like an upper aegis, which is works as a anti-air, and then I can get a tackle off of that, and I couldn't focus on that. And then you're starting to think letting the demon flips through too much.
Mm.
So then, but still, you're still getting thrown. That's it. I mean, that doesn't do like a lot of damage,
Hmm.
but they get the knockdown, and they get like an Oki. So I mean, situation's bad, but it's better than getting hit by the full combo, right?
Yeah.
So you're
So I
thinking,
guess,
okay,
yeah.
so what you're thinking is, at one point, he will change his plans and he will probably try to go for a dive kick because he might think he applied enough pressure
Hmm.
for me to try to do something else being thrown like so many times. And if it's like a first attempt, it's a long set. So that kind of like works kind of like a spiral. I mean, it starts off with like a demon flip throw,
Hmm.
and then
Basically, rock paper scissors. Yeah.
yeah, and then like if you're playing against Vanal, like he like definitely wants to like be in your head.
Hmm.
What he would do is like a demon flip into punch,
Hmm.
which is like the most rare move that you'll see.
Hmm.
And what it does is it gets a knockdown. It does a good amount of damage. It builds a lot of stun. And what it does, it like stuffs headbutts really easily.
Hmm.
Right.
And it when you do a headbutt and when you get punished by the demon flip punch, it just like happens so fast that you can't react and you can't like tech like quick rise, quick stand, quick tech or whatever you want to call it. You usually can't react to it, and he's in your head because you're like, oh, I did a headbutt. I was airborne. I wanted to get hit by the demon flip kick so I can get out of trouble, at least by like, sacrificing a little bit of life. But instead, he read you, and then he punched you, and he punished you in the best way possible. And then now you're back in the same situation. What am I going to do next?
Yeah.
Right? So it makes things easier for the Goki player in that way. And it's pretty dangerous to go for the demon flip punch because it's punishable on block.
Hmm.
I think it's negatives. I don't know. Throw is guaranteed, so it's negative a lot. So I mean that's risky. Vanal is kind of like the only guy that does it,
Hmm.
but
Mhm.
it's like things you want to like you want to like foresee, and you want to like analyze, like what's behind it, what's behind that move.
Right. So basically, like, in order to compensate for that, for the lack of, like, I guess, the lack of quality
Mhm.
in like one person's play, you would tend to not overexert yourself, but like look in depth into one specific situation which would benefit the player, like the
Mhm.
big damage combo. You would look for that,
Mhm.
and you would see like what's the best scenario for him to do that, and that's the part that you would focus on,
Yeah,
right?
because that's what you
Right.
don't want to get hit by. But obviously, your opponent knows that,
Yeah.
and yeah, if you're waiting for a demon flip kick in that situation, and you're waiting for a parry, and you're trying to like parry every single time when a demon flip comes at you, you'll
Hmm.
get thrown to death,
Hmm.
and
Right.
that can happen.
So mainly, it's just about like I said, it's just about focusing on that one situation. So, for example, somebody in the chat he mentioned that like crouching strong with Yuri will get out of the demon flip throw.
Yeah, if you
With
can
like
react fast enough, yeah, sure.
yeah. So but then when you start analyzing the matchup, the Akuma player can just simply do demon flip kick,
Hmm.
and you're crouching and that hurts like a whole lot.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I mean it's
So
all
yeah.
I guess the focus would be to just the three different scenarios in that situation, and that's how you compensate.
Yeah, but
So
notice that in
Yeah.
that situation, if you're like able to do low strong and duck under the demon flip, that means you're not focusing on the ground, you're focusing on the air,
exactly, yeah,
right? And then if you can tell between a normal jump and a demon flip, which is very hard, you know what I mean, right?
Hmm.
yeah,
You think it's a demon flip, and then you try to duck under, and it was like a normal jump, and then he does like a cross up forward, cross up middle kick, and then you get hit crouching. It's like done.
exactly, yeah.
So yeah,
It basically ruins the plan, yeah.
so it's not bad that it's good. It's good to have a knowledge that you can actually duck through demon flips, and it's important at times and to get you out of trouble, sure. But if you're just focusing only on that, there are other ways to get punished. There can be other ways to get punished.
Yeah.
So you got to know
It's
that as well.
yeah.
So
I
it's
guess
a hard
bottom.
game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess bottom line. Sorry to interrupt you, say, but I guess bottom line for the stream monsters. Don't think don't think it's such a linear way, right?
No,
Like
yeah.
if you're getting hit by one thing, don't just focus on stopping that one thing.
No.
Like Say says, know that one thing. Well, at least a smart player, right? They're doing that one thing to set up something else, and so you got to keep
Exactly.
that in mind. The Akuma versus Urian matchup. I mean, what are I'm sure maybe there's some Urian players maybe that are watching. Say, I mean, what advice would you have for them when they play
One thing I
Akuma?
could say is I play Akuma
Mhm.
a fair amount, and I would love to play my Urien with my Akuma, which is impossible.
Unless you
I would
clone
love
yourself,
to.
right?
I would love to. And
Mhm.
if I'm playing Urien and if I'm playing against my Akuma,
Mhm.
I don't have much confidence in that matchup.
Hmm.
If I can play my own Goki, it'd be pretty hard, I think.
Well,
That means,
obviously.
yeah, that means, like, you know, when I play Goki, I know the Urien matchup. I kind of. Well, I'm a scrub,
Mhm.
but I kind of know the matchup. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to deal with, basically, because Urien has a big body, and Goki's very mobile.
Mhm.
He's got teleports. He's got like one frame airborne moves and stuff. And his Tatsu's hard to punish.
Mhm.
On paper, it looks very bad for Urien, but in reality, it's very bad. So,
I'm like, oh,
was that?
Okay, I think Lloyd's mic went out.
Yeah, I think Lloyd's mic went out.
oh, it did.
What'd you say?
No, I was like it's funny because normally you would hear like when somebody says like, like oh, on paper it's like this, but then in reality it's something different.
Okay.
But on paper it's bad, but then in reality it's actually bad.
It's bad. So, like, it differs. If it's, if the Urien player is more like trying to go in, I'm a body you type of style, like
Mhm.
Japanese, like, kind of use the word strong style. I don't know what it means, but it's kind of like,
I think I think it's from a wrestling. I think it's from wrestling.
oh, okay. Oh, I don't know wrestling, sorry. But if it's kind of like a strong style, they don't mind getting hit by some of it.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, Goki has low health, and I've got a lot more. So if we like trade punches, I'll be the last man standing. And yeah, I know, I understand.
Mhm.
But if you want to play like a more of like a Tokyo style, stay more safe and solid,
Mhm.
like block when you sense danger, not go for random parries. And if you want to play like solid conservative type of style,
Mhm.
and Goki tries to maul you, I mean, it's hard to deal with. But if Urien will spend a lot more calories playing this matchup.
Spend a lot more calories.
I'm being a bit serious about this because when you say like a so and so matchup is like 7-3-6-4 or whatever, it's like, and people start to say like it's even or something, and I like ask them, it's like, okay, so which character spends more calories playing?
Mhm.
And that means when you spend more calories, that means you're focusing, you're concentrating, and you got more things to look at. Like you got to focus on the ground, maybe you have to focus in the air at the same time, which is very hard.
Mhm.
And so you spend a lot more calories, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get tired of playing. I mean, you get exhausted. So that's how hard it is for that guy.
Mhm.
So doesn't it make sense? When you spend
Yeah.
more calories, you have like a bad matchup.
Yeah.
So yeah, Urien I think would spend a lot more calorie than Goki, but I wouldn't say it's like 7-3 or anything. I mean, it's completely doable because Goki can make like one or two mistakes and it's kind of done. So I won't say it's not doable, but
Can you make? Are there things you can do with Urien that can encourage Goki to make a mistake, or do you
Well-
just have to just be solid and hope he does?
If it's just like a first to one, I can use Super Tooth. And Lloyd, I think you know about it.
Yeah, I saw him play yesterday. It was pretty sick.
Yeah,
No, you know, Urien's other supers aren't bad, you know.
it's not bad, but one thing I must point out is that I think Capcom forgot to set the stun on SA1 Super 1 because Tyrant Slaughter has no stun, 0.
No, you sure? Are you sure that wasn't their attempt to balance it? Because SA2 does a shitload of stun.
Yeah, but, and wait,
You know,
SA
it's kind of like Magnetic Storm. It's like, did they forget to give stun to Magnetic Storm?
yeah, but SA3 does hella stun, right?
Yeah, but SA2 does hella stun.
Well, that's the idea that like the first super it doesn't
Can't you-
do any
yeah.
stun.
Can't you
Second super it
technically?
does most stun.
Oh, maybe you're
Can't-
right. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. Can't you technically, like, I think with Akuma, like, you can do, like my best friend showed me this, like, you could do, like, a jump roundhouse, jab headbutt into Temporal Thunder.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
Like, doesn't that just stun Akuma? Or, I don't know if it stuns
It's not
Akuma.
that easy. You get like 99% stun off of that.
Yeah. It's like 99% stun off a jump roundhouse.
Wait. Lloyd, you can tell him that I actually jumped in a roundhouse and just killed him with one combo. It's not a reset; it's a combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
that can happen. But I mean, what
yeah.
are the chances of getting like a good jump in against Goki, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so that's what I'm talking about. It's not easy,
Yeah.
but you can
It's
like
possible.
it's possible.
Yeah.
And I think Lloyd, you've seen me do it, and it wasn't a scrub. It was a good player actually.
Remember we went to Doylestown that one time, Lloyd? And then we were trying to
Yeah.
land that one jump in combo against Therapist.
Yeah.
And then I told you, okay, I'm gonna jump at the beginning of this
Yeah.
round. And this guy does fireball. Oh, of course I fuck up the combo, but he does fireball. Therapist does fireball at the beginning of the round. I'm fully stocked, okay, with Urian. And the first move he does is fireball.
Like in my head, like you could see us looking at each other, like
I think I
Like-
fucked up because I really didn't expect him to do such a dumb
right,
move.
like
Like,
exactly.
why would you start with fireball? I mean,
Clutch, be clutch, man.
Anyway.
Sorry. Practice.
anyway.
Practice up?
All right, so there comes that time where we have to end the stream, and so we're gonna go ahead and continue with our parting shots. So since you are our guest, say, we'll give you the floor. What kind of message do you want to leave to the Third Strike players that are watching?
Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you show the Fight Club 6 teams for a while?
Oh, okay, sure.
And-
Sure.
I can just not that one.
Which one? Lloyd's teams or my team?
Both. I'll make it
Okay,
quick.
so-
I'll make it quick.
Okay, all right.
All right. Okay. I agree with this team, Alex. Hispanic Jab should definitely play Alex. I'll say it again. He should definitely play Alex, not Dudley and Urian.
Okay.
This is all depending on how he played at Fight Club 3. What I saw, his Alex is, I think, the best among all his characters.
Okay.
And Opio is the guy. Who's the guy that?
It was a new blood.
Okay, who's the guy that entered the high roller Dudley player with the cap on?
Blood cell.
Blood cell.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
Blood cell.
Okay. Okay. No.
This guy
Okay.
pointing the gun.
Okay, next.
Next. Okay. Wow, that was all right.
Nice parting shots.
Yeah, next.
He's gonna better point the gun at the next group.
Yeah, let me see mutants. Yeah. Okay. I don't know about I don't know what's up with between Gavin and Ahmed, but this. I think this. I don't know about Troy. Sorry, I don't know this gentleman, but I know Adam's a Chun-Li player,
Mhm.
and I only played him once in team tournament once in Fight Club 3. But
Mhm.
I think Gavin, Ahmed, and Adam should team.
Yeah, that was originally the idea, but the thing is, Adam is playing Gavin in the Fight Club, so it's kind of weird to team with someone that you're gonna.
No. It's different. Three legit Chuns should team and just win.
I mean, that's what I was saying. And Ahmed's like, "Oh, I don't want to be the only one who uses my main." Blah blah blah.
No. Well, Gavin's Chun's main, right?
Yeah.
See? So yeah, I mean.
Because he tries to worry about, like, he tries to compare himself to us, like me, Mutant, and and Frankie.
Come on, man.
So he's like, oh, like, you guys aren't picking your main, so I'm not gonna pick my main either.
No, you're not gonna be elected for president for doing that, man.
Oh shit. Shots. No, we told Ahmed from the beginning it should be Gavin, Ahmed, and Adam, but then it's weird because Gavin and Adam are going to be playing each other. It's going to be weird, like, cheering for the guy that you want to body it later on in the night. So. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Chun-Li, I recommend 3 legit Chuns to win the tournament, and
Definitely.
it feels good to win. And you got to show them that Chun-Li is a necessary evil, and also in that community, and a lot of players need to take him down. So I don't mind, Lloyd, Nika, you playing Yang alone on a 3-on-3. I don't mind, and you can try to take down everybody. And it's gonna be a challenge for you because you're gonna have to play like 3 Chuns.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think that that's more exciting?
I mean, personally, I like the Chun matchup.
Oh yeah,
Because-
I know. So
Yeah.
I mean, then if like Gavin, Ahmed, and Adam loses against you, and it'll be like, hey, we had 3 Chuns and we lost against 1 Yang, right?
Damn.
Right?
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, what's lacking in that scene is the challenge is lacking. I mean, a lot of people need to challenge, not with the like the alternative character, but they need to challenge with their main. They need to take Lloyd down because he's been winning too much, right?
So this is part of your other parting shots.
Oh yeah, yeah. So okay, so
Damn.
next the routine.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't know about Flair. I don't know who he is. I'm sorry, but Denges, Helgen, if they like talk a lot before the matches, like discuss like who which should go and like strats and all that stuff, matchups
Mhm.
and past experience and all that.
Mhm.
I think they have a good chance. And so I'm next. The Remy. Okay, okay, next. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
that's pretty much it. Okay. All right. So um, I I could have talked a lot of shit if you want me to, but I decided not to.
Yeah,
And
we'll definitely have you back.
that's nice.
You
And
know.
yeah, I was actually looking at the plane tickets. I might make there the last second. I was thinking, but it wasn't as
Uh-oh.
cheap as I thought. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
so well, that's kind of bad news for you. But I kind of like asked how many, 4, 5 people
Mhm.
if they want to go to New York for this event for like Fight Club 6, and they couldn't like get their day off
Schedule.
schedule,
Mhm.
kind of couldn't make it, but every single one of them said they would love to go to New York. And seriously, so players were like Mochi, Chun-Li player, like Kazuya, Alex, and
BBK.
BBK, Dudley player, top 8, Qual Cup twice, I think. Those players, they said they would love to go to New York because they've never been there.
Mhm.
So it's not like they can't make it for Fight Club 6. That means like they can't make it forever. But they said if they have a chance, they would like to go, and probably I'll be with
Yeah.
them. So and Kazuya was like mentioning it's not like two of us, but it'd be great if there were like 4 of us and then get together and then stay there for a week or something. Enjoy the stay, play some
Yeah.
games. So like
Well,
hopefully
yeah.
like next level stays alive.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the big if.
Yeah.
That's the big if. But there's going to be other Third Strike events in the year.
Uh huh.
There's going to be other majors. They may not be in New York, but they'll be somewhere on the East Coast. So we'll
I know
we'll
about
def
that. I know
so
about
we'll
that.
we'll definitely continue the discussion with the Japanese players. Thank you so much, rKf, for being our ambassador, I guess, our
Thank you.
unofficial This is Third Strike Japanese correspondent, trying to improve relations
Oh, you want
between the
these?
two. Yeah. So, Lloyd, do you have any parting shots?
uh,
Shots?
da, 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 da. Uh, I remember rKf mentioned to me once for everybody to start stepping their game up and start challenging me. So, as my parting shots, come see me, guys.
Oh, come see me. I like it.
Come see me at Fight
Damn.
Club 6.
Come see me. Nice.
So,
Ouch.
with that
Yeah.
said, alongside that, I'm also going to be posting rKf's YouTube channel in the chat. So if you guys want to check out his combo videos and a couple of other videos that he put up, like some a Marvel video
Yeah, some random shit.
and a HNK video. I mean, it's pretty nice, but majority of the combos that he puts in these videos are practical and they are possible. So give them a look, give them a try, and if you guys have any questions about them, feel free to message him on Twitter. It is K6 presents,
K
right?
underscore 6 presents.
K_6 presents on Twitter. So yeah, guys, if you want to check out his channel, be sure to look at it in the chat. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. So once again, guys, remember that the next big This is Third Strike event is going to be 3S Fight Club 6. It's going to be held at Next Level on February 20th, which is a Saturday. Also, remember, guys, we're going to be there the night before for a special edition of The Shelter. And please make sure you visit the Teespring store and consider buying a shirt. I believe I have to reinitiate the campaigns, but you can still buy one anyway if you want to. And so please go ahead and feel free to check that out as well. And also make sure you follow us on our various social media platforms. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. You can catch replays of this stream and other streams on Nika's YouTube channel, SF3LP, our Instagram account, which we never update, and our Teespring store. So, once again, rKf, thank you not just for joining us on this show, but also for coming to Fight Club 3. And, I don't think I ever got a chance to say this, but, the fact that you and Vanau came to Fight Club 3, really gave us that momentum we needed to really try and revive the Third Strike scene. And then, you know what, your work and your hard work and your willingness to come to America and show people that Third Strike can still be an exciting and competitive game, it's paid off. Because, just now you see more and more people streaming Third Strike. You see more and more people getting excited about the game. And thank you so much on behalf of everyone here at This is Third Strike for you and Vanau coming to America. Appreciate it. And we hope you come back soon with another host of Third Strike players from Japan.
Yeah, definitely, I'll come back soon. And
if we don't, we're going to see you at Co-op Cup next year.
All right, you guys come see me, right?
Come see me.
I like that.
Come see me.
I like that.
Come see me.
Shots.
All right, guys. So on behalf of everyone at This is Third Strike, my name is Mutant XP, and thanks again for joining us. Later, guys.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys.
See you guys.